Just delighted to get our first win of the season. We knew it was going to be a very difficult game, particularly with the way Houston set up defensively. They make it really tight and very difficult to break them down. And I think we found that particularly in the first half, where it was probably a little bit frustrating because we never quite get into a rhythm. But I thought I was really pleased with our response in the second half. I thought we upped the tempo a bit. We started, I think, pretty much dictating most of the game in the second half. And once we got that first goal, we probably had another couple of chances to finish the game. So we talked about finding a way to win, which was important because we felt that, particularly in the first game here and in the Washington game, we kind of lost games that we could have won. And today was a really important game for us to win, and the players found a way to win. So that's a really good attribute to have. Yeah, we talked about that at half time. I said that, and it's hard because we talked about this during the week, that this was probably going to happen during the game. But when things, when you get off to kind of a rocky start like we have, and things don't work, players get a little bit frustrated, and there was a couple of sort of shoulder shrugs. It's not easy for me to say that, but in the first half there was a little bit out of frustration, and we talked about that at half time, and I think the response I got from the players in the second half was first class. I was very relieved and very happy, but it was good because it meant she kept plugging away and she kept getting in there. So the key thing, it's a terrific free kick, but somebody's still got to get on the end of it, and she did that, and that's what's really important. And those are the things that we talked about, and those, I think, are some of the small things that make a difference between winning and losing in this league. And as I say, I thought we did them well in the second half. Well, it's good because what it does is it ups the competition in the squad. And the other good thing is today, the players that were out there give me not so much a problem, but give me some more difficult thoughts to go over when we start looking at the team for next week, because we've just come off a win. But it's always good to get all your players back, and particularly to get those international quality players back into the squad. But in saying that, I think the players that have been here for the last 4 weeks, without them, have done really exceptionally well, and particularly the young players that we've had on the bench, that not many of them have had an opportunity, but the value that they've added just being in there and training with us has been first class. But as I say, it's come Tuesday when the Brazilians get back, we'll see perhaps a different looking squad. Yeah, what we didn't want to do was fiddle about too much with our formation. It was more about the areas that we felt we could get into to exploit them, and I think at times we did get into those areas, but then I think as Jordan and Mike said, we didn't quite then do what we had to do once we get into those areas, particularly in the first half. So I don't think the formation was something that we were overly concerned about. It was more about the areas that we got players into to try and break down their defensive shape. I don't think so much it was today was so much a connection between Chi and Nairn. It's more, the free kick was just put into a great area, and I think we had 3 players that were actually attacking the ball and in really good positions to score. And the one last week was, again, Christian Nairn being really switched on and intercepting a pass, and that kind of connection. I think that's the value. What we've seen last week and today, I think, is the value of Christian Nairn and what we brought her here for. She's a terrific passer. She's got great vision, and she's the kind of player that can get the flow of keep the flow of the play going. So it's more that, rather. I don't think she's got a particularly different connection with Chi than she does with her other players. It was just very important. I think if we didn't win today, there would have been there's been a lack of confidence in the squad. But we started pretty ordinary last year, but you can't afford to keep starting as poorly as we have. So it was very important to win today. I don't know, monkey off the back is how I describe it. I would just describe it as important to get that first result, and that helps the confidence going into next week. Yeah, that was good. I thought our defensive discipline in general was very good today. We worked harder to get behind the ball. I thought our back three generally defended very well, kept connected, and really, you know, I think we kind of limited them to maybe just some half chances. So I thought defensively we looked disciplined, and I thought the players worked a lot, not harder, they worked a lot earlier in getting back into good defensive positions. I hope so. I hope so. I mean, we've got a very potent squad, and I think, you know, as you saw last year, once our team got into a rhythm of playing, we were pretty dynamic, and I think we'll be the same this year. We've, you know, trying to think the best way to answer this is that you never quite know how quickly your team's going to sort of gel together. And although we didn't make an awful lot of changes, we've made some significant changes, and there's been, you know, quite a bit of disruption in our pre-season. So it was always going to be difficult, and still is going to be difficult, to know how quickly that cohesion is going to come in amongst the team. And when you don't get the cohesion, it's a lot harder to score goals, because players aren't quite on the same page, you know. And the more that we play together, and then the more that we get more familiar players back in the team, then hopefully the rhythm will be better, our cohesion will be better, and if we get that, then we'll create chances, and we've got players that are going to score goals. I mean, as you saw last year, we had numerous goal scorers, and we've got the same this year. Yeah, I mean, I think today's game, I thought the two of them did very, very well, because what we said, again, because of the setup of Houston, the areas in midfield for them to get into where they could then get on the ball and start creating, I thought they did that in both halves. I thought that both midfield players did that very, very well, and that then helped. And as the game went on, I think you started to see that cohesion, and that players sort of being on the same page and working with our strikers continue to develop a lot better than it perhaps did in the first half. So, you know, as I say, we talked about those two. The job's been very important, getting into little areas in midfield where they could get the ball, and I thought they did that exceptionally well. That's a great question. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's the time of the day. I don't know if it's other things, but that's a really good question. We, you know, we should be getting more people through the gates. How we do that? Obviously winning games helps, but I think I sound vague here. I don't know the direct answer for that. As I say, hopefully we win more games. Hopefully you guys get out there and spread the word. I think everybody needs to spread the word about coming out and supporting the team, and the importance of supporting the team. And I think, you know, that's something that probably all of us need to do better, starting from me and starting from people within the club, and then starting from our support base, social media base, etc. And hopefully that will start increasing our crowds.